ridiculous. But if we didn't, I'll give you one occasion when we didn't do that. A young lady turned up, probably about 22, 23 years old, said she was here to see Prince Andrew. He just came in about half hour previous, so we knew he was in. But the footman wasn't answering his phone. There was no way of us contacting anyone up there. So we just politely said to the lady, we're really sorry, we can't let you in at the moment because we can't confirm you're expected. So she said, oh, shall I ring him on my mobile? So we said, yeah, fine. So she rang Prince Andrew on her mobile and we could hear him clearly. He said, put an officer on the phone. So my colleague took the phone and he said, listen to me, you fat lardy ass. Let my guest in immediately or I'm going to come down there. Everyone heard it. The lady went red, apologised, and we just let her in. So after that, obviously, those sort of issues we had with him, we would just let women in, didn't ask questions because we just did not want the grief. I mean, complaints were made about him. You know, he was a rude, obnoxious, horrible individual, but no one was going to take a complaint to the royal household because he's the Queen's favourite. So we just had to bend the rules for him and breach security.
Do you think it was quite obvious that he was Queen's favourite?
Yeah, he was definitely the Queen's favourite. And probably the reason why he's in so much trouble now is because he was the Queen's favourite, because no one reeled him in. And he was left to get on with, to do whatever he wanted. You know, I'll give you another example. On the Queen's floor, there's cameras everywhere. And the camera operator noticed an individual on the Queen's private floor where her apartments are. And we couldn't identify who it was. She wasn't in at the time, but it's still a potential security alert. So four of us and four officers, including a sergeant, went down to that corridor. We entered from both ends, so we could obviously meet this person in the middle. And as we got closer, we realised it was Prince Andrew. So my sergeant explained what had happened, apologised, said, look, we couldn't identify who it was on camera, so we've had to come and check it out. And instead of saying, oh, I said, no problem, he turned around and said, listen, this is my house, I'll go where I want, now f*** off. You know, again, we're doing our job. There's no need to talk to police officers like that, or anyone like that. You know, I've spoken out because people should know what Prince Andrew's really like, and then judge for themselves. I mean, the stuff that I'm saying has been corroborated by other officers about how he bullies people, how he shouts and swears. You know, he's not a nice individual. That's the bottom line.
Were you sort of surprised when the recent case against Prince Andrew?
All I'm saying is, look, there's two sides to the coin. Prince Andrew, which we now know, and I think a lot of the people realise his mask has slipped now. He's not the clean-cut individual some staunch royalists thought he was. You know, he's obviously... you know, he's gone too far and he's said too many things. He's defended his relationship with a convicted paedophile. And that, to me, and a lot of police officers, you know, we just couldn't believe it because he's basically kicked dirt in the face of every survivor of sexual offences around the world.
On the day-to-day basis, what possesses the greatest security risk to the royals?
People that are mentally challenged. Because you do get a lot of stalkers with the royal family. So Prince Andrew was at Windsor, in his residence in Windsor. A female turns up in a black taxi, I think it was, says she's there to see Prince Andrew. She's got an appointment with him. The officers just let her straight in, and she was mentally challenged. She wasn't a guest, and that she was left to wander around his private house with him in there somewhere before they realised and detained her, and she was arrested. So that individual could have had a knife, a gun, you don't know, and could have come across Prince Andrew. These are the kind of people on a day-to-day, not so much terrorism, because we get threat level advice on briefings every week. We will get a security threat assessment, basically, from the government that will tell us if there's any threats to the royals. So
with the kind of hierarchy of protection, obviously the Queen is at the top of it. How many people are protecting her at the same time?
Well, say, for example, at Buckingham Palace, you've got 24 hours a day, you've got 3 or 4 shifts, and each shift will probably have about 30 officers on it. So, and then that will stay there all the time, even when the Queen goes to Windsor, because there'll be